Hey, it's Councilman Salters
And Councilman Grove.
with a stain on his shirt.
Hey, I work for a living. You take me as I am.
And we're here with your council recap for your May 10th. Like we said, we do this on Tuesday, so Councilman Grove can get quickly to food trucks.
Yes.
Another great night. Another great night.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's normal. I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh, back to normal. I'm
I like
yeah,
that. You're like
normal.
normal.
It's food trucks.
Yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
very good. So we had a busy night at council. A lot of discussion last night on a lot of different issues. Key thing that we did discuss last night was an update to our inspector ordinances, specifically when it comes to main breaker turnoff.
Yeah.
Now, just to kind of make this a little simplistic,
And we talked about it last week.
yeah, we talked about
So-
it. It's really pretty simple. So any new house or updating, or you're updating or remodeling a house, they'll have to put a main breaker in that will shut all the power off.
Yeah.
The
And that's
key-
so.
Very simple.
Yeah. Fire department gets there, they can go straight to the breaker box and shut all the power off. They don't have to be at the breaker box; it's outside
Yeah.
at the meter. So they pull power and they can fight the fire.
And you're probably asking yourself, why would we need this? Well, beforehand, they would have to call the power company and wait.
Yeah.
And we do know that time is of the essence in these situations.
Yeah.
So this gives us the ability and speed for our fire and first responders to be able to do this immediately. So then you save some time, which in the end saves lives, saves material, saves everything. I mean, you could help a situation where you stop something before it starts and spreads in the house, or it spreads to a block. There's a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah.
This is just something that's being encouraged by the state. It's not being told by the state that you have to do it. They said this might be something you need to look into. Our city inspector did that, and we passed this ordinance.
I have gotten a couple of calls on people thinking that they had to do this. As Councilman Salter said, it's only if you're doing upgrades to your electrical service or building new constructions. However, it is a great idea. Definitely something to look into, but no, you're not forced to do it on an existing home that you're not doing any repairs to.
Right, and our city inspectors talk with our construction people, our builders, all those people. They knew this was coming,
Yeah.
and a lot of them were already doing it to begin with in some of the updates that happened. So this is not something that you have to go out there and do right now.
No.
But if it's a new home, this has to go in there. If this is an update or a remodel specifically to the electrical grid, then you're going to have to do it. But that was something we've discussed this over the last 2 months. It passed pretty quickly. The key thing that I'm very thankful for Brad and what he does is he always makes sure in his ordinances that he looks after the citizen.
Yeah.
So he makes sure that he puts information in there that his department's going to be willing to work with them, specifically when it comes to financing or how to do it or what constitutes an upgrade. So he's going to always make sure that he's there to work through that. And we got that done, and it's a good improvement to the safety of the citizens of Vincennes.
Right.
All right, then most of the time we discuss Cats. Not the musical, which the musicals, no comment, because I'm sure there's some people that like the musical Cats. So we discussed an issue. We had a citizen come during public comment that has an issue with a lot of strays in this area.
Yeah.
We went into detail about the TNR program, which a lot of people don't know about, and it was nice to be able to discuss that specifically. And I said this morning on the radio when you talk about it with the group of council that probably didn't know that this was about, but information is always key. And the nice thing about it is Councilman Grove has actually done the program. So can you go into detail about what this is?
Well, I haven't, but my wife has. She got involved. We had a horrible cat problem in our neighborhood, and it's frustrating for the homeowner. The person last night said, there's nothing you can do, but there is. If you can get in contact with the Humane Society or to Leah, the pet port, she can set you up to where she'll supply you with a trap. As long as you monitor that trap, if you catch a stray, you can take it and have it spayed or neutered, and it doesn't cost you anything. And believe me, it makes a difference. It's not an overnight change, but over time, over the last year or so, we have noticed a huge improvement in the cat population in our neighborhood. So it does work, and it doesn't cost you anything, just your time.
And the key thing to remember, we did go over some information. When you do this, and specifically with a population that he was dealing with, at first, you're taking these cats out, you're spaying, neutering them, you're bringing them back. The more and more that group gets spayed and neutered, the less they start spreading out. So the only reason that they would stay in that area would be if there was a food source in that area.
Yeah.
So the key thing to remember, and this is all about information, if you do this, it does help kind of alleviate some of these issues. Now, we're going to be able to solve all the problems with this? No. The key thing is, though, is to be able to humanely deal with the situation, and that's something that our animal shelter does and does very well. It is a big problem, and we know that, and we've been contacted by people, but we feel in some discussions after the meeting as well, we'll look at this in budgetary time, and this is something that we need to invest some more money in to be able to help, because we do know it works when you look at specifically issues with dogs in the city. That's almost non-existent at this point.
No.
And there used to be some problems with that. I use an example of 10 years ago when I would go out running. It was a pretty good idea, or a pretty good chance that there would be a dog that would be barking at me, or stray dog that would be barking, or chasing you along the way.
Yeah. You almost had to test your
Yeah.
first.
That I can't even think of the last time that happened.
Yeah.
So, and when you talk about our numbers with dogs too, the numbers have gone down drastically because of that. So the program works. The problem with cats is they just reproduce so fast. So the question is, how do we target specific areas? How do we increase what we're doing and expand that? And I think we've got some ideas in the work. I do think Leah, for what she does, it's a tough job.
It is
a tough one. And her crew do a fantastic job. But if you haven't been out there, there's a lot of great things that are happening out of our animal shelter.
It definitely is. But they're limited on resources, people.
Yeah. And just like everybody, they're doing all they can. And if they did 24/7, there would still be some problems. So it does take some community support. It does take us being informed on how to deal with those situations.
Most important, it takes responsible pet owners. That's the biggest cause of these problems we see is irresponsible pet owners.
Yeah. And we're trying to help with that, with getting information out. So that was a large chunk of our meeting, probably one of the bigger chunks of our meeting. At the end, we did our For Good of the Order, which I'm always a big fan of when we talk about the good things that happen in the city. But the key thing that we have to end on today is we wanted to thank Steve Beeman for his years of service. 16 years in the city.
It's a long time.
16 years.
Goes by fast when you're having fun.
I know. It's and when you think about all the things that have happened in our parks department, we've seen a lot of improvements, upgrades. When you look at the equipment pieces, I think in most of our major parks, you've seen new equipment come in. I think of Greg Park and all the stuff there. You think of Leicester Square and the fitness park that he teamed up with Ali Bobe and all those things. You look at the splash pad. That one's a huge thing. You look at events coming to all those certain spots, and obviously the key thing is the new Rainbow Beach. You weren't on council yet.
No.
And I can remember Steve coming to us, and he's like, "Listen, we've got $50,000 to $70,000 worth of improvements that patchwork that we need to do to just get the pool running. We're either going to try this, and it probably won't work. It might not work, or we're going to need to go for a new pool." And he goes, "I think we need to go for a new pool, but you guys have to tell me what I need to do." It was that night that we voted to go with the new pool, which means that we wouldn't be opening Rainbow Beach that year. And from that moment forward, he hit the ground running, had the campaign, and I knew he was nervous through the whole time that he wouldn't get enough support and votes. And lo and behold, we got well over 80% of the vote. And now we've got one of the better aquatic facilities in southern Indiana.
Yeah.
And we are
he's just a driving force behind everything. Even the pickleball court. I know
the pickleball court was a big one.
He's just a go-getter. We're really going to miss him.
Yeah, we're going to miss him, and we wish him the best of luck.
Yeah.
I worked for Steve when I was young. One of my first jobs was the day camp. He hired me when he worked at the Y. I was a Neanderthal at that point, probably about 300 pounds, long hair. Remember, I was a college football player. And he taught us a lot. And that group, I think a majority of that group is now teachers, which is, we were talking about that today. I think there's 15 of us that are teachers now out of that group.
That's pretty cool.
And the key thing they taught us is not just responsibilities and things that people expect of you, but enjoy the people that you're around, enjoy what you're doing. And that's something that I've taken with me in everything I do. I met my wife at the day camp. He put me in a kindergarten group to rally around the kindergartners. And if you know my wife, she's a kindergarten teacher. Yeah, I'm not.
So Amanda has Steve to blame.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, sorry, Amanda. So he put us together, and that's how we met. And then, I went and taught, and I never thought I'd be working with him again. And then, lo and behold, I decided to get involved in politics, and we're working together to improve our parks. And one of the events, I know I hit on this last night, one of the bigger events that he put together, and people will be like, I don't remember that, was Pooches with Pokemon, when Pokemon Go first started coming out. And so the Parks Department and the animal shelter teamed up, and they were having a big adoption event. We adopted all the pets that day. There was one extremely diva dog, a little chihuahua in the corner that she would not let anyone hold her. She barked, she yipped, and all of a sudden my daughter made eye contact. And it was meant to be, because she went to her, and everybody was shocked that the dog would let her hold her, and that's how we got Phoebe. Probably the most famous Chihuahua in Vincennes at this point.
Yeah.
But it's those weird connections in small town communities where you can have these stories. And even now today, like I coach obviously with my brother on the football staff. Steve's son's on our football staff. All right, we coach together, so it's those connections that we have in the small community that make it special. So we do wish Steve the best of luck. He will be missed, but he's got a new opportunity, and we're excited for him.
Yep.
But hey, we'll keep moving, and stuff's going on. And the key thing to remember: the pool is still opening,
yes,
and we're excited about it.
Reassured
that last night. I drove past it this morning. Water's in.
Yep.
I mean, it's just exciting. I mean, I know that everybody's really looking forward to that. So we've got a 2-week break. And the nice thing about it is we don't have to do it on Tuesday, because it's not on. Typically, we have a meeting on Memorial Day, and then we have to have it on a Tuesday. But since it's just happening in 2 weeks, it's the week before Memorial Day. That's just a little inside baseball. Oh well. Other than that, we will see you on the 24th.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll see you at food trucks.
Definitely.
Have a good one.